That evening, I was hit with an unimaginable shock. After 2 decades of marriage, 2 wonderful children, and what I believed would be a lifetime of happiness, everything came crashing down. I returned home early, completely unaware that my world was about to change. As I entered our bedroom and saw the look of determination on my wife's face, my heart skipped a beat. Was this simply a weekend getaway? Or was I on the edge of discovering a betrayal that would shatter everything I thought I knew? Before I dive deeper into the story, let me ask you, are you sure you're ready for the truth? If you're not prepared for your world to be turned upside down as mine was, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Here, you'll hear real-life stories and lessons from those who've been through life-altering events just like mine. Don't forget to share your thoughts on the shocking truths I've experienced in the comments, and please show your support by liking my video. My name is Bill Miller. At the time everything unfolded, Lori and I had just celebrated our 20th wedding anniversary. We met in college and tied the knot shortly after graduation. Over the years, we were blessed with 2 wonderful daughters, Kelly and Erin. Kelly had recently started college, while Erin was preparing to graduate from high school. 6 weeks earlier, we had dropped Kelly off at a state university, and Erin was considering the same school for the following year. As expected, the girls would argue from time to time, but their bond was unshakable. Kelly's move to college left an undeniable emptiness in our home. While we were proud of her for starting this new chapter in her life, it was still a tough adjustment for both of us. I worked as a partner at a large accounting firm, and Lori had found a position as a supervisor at a construction materials company. Despite having studied English in college, her career had taken a different turn in the business world. Financially, we were doing great. Our house was beautiful, we drove new cars, and our lifestyle was comfortable. But Kelly's departure had impacted Lori more than I realized. I'd noticed her being distant over the past few weeks, but I hadn't thought much of it. That Friday, I decided to leave work early. Erin was spending the weekend at a school camp, so it would be just Lori and me at home. I planned to make the most of the quiet time, hoping to reignite the spark in our relationship with a romantic dinner. I had a sense that something was off, but instead of addressing it, I decided to focus on fixing things. As I pulled into the driveway, I saw Lori's car in the garage. She had left work early, too. I walked inside and called out, "Honey, I'm home." "I'm here," Lori responded. I made my way to the bedroom, where I found her standing in front of the mirror, applying her makeup. She was wearing the black dress I had given her last Christmas, along with the elegant pearl necklace I bought her. Beside her was an open suitcase, and she was packing a few clothes. The moment everything came to a halt, my heart began to race. Lori wasn't preparing for the romantic weekend I had imagined. The reality was about to hit me like a wrecking ball. "Are we going somewhere?" I asked, my voice trembling with uncertainty. "You didn't tell me, but I can get ready quickly." "Where are we going?" The excitement that had once filled me evaporated as I waited for her response. Lori lowered her gaze and spoke slowly. "Bill, I'm sorry, but I'm going on a date this weekend. I wasn't planning on telling you, but since you came home early, I owe you an explanation." The word date echoed in my mind, bouncing around in disbelief. How could those 2 words, date and marriage, exist in the same sentence? Was this some kind of cruel joke? I'd never felt so blindsided in my life. "A date? What do you mean?" "We're not in an open marriage, Lori. How could you do this to me?" My voice cracked with a mix of shock and hurt. Her response was calm but firm. "Bill, it's just for the weekend. Ever since Kelly left, I've felt lost. This is like therapy for me. I need time to figure things out, and I'll come back on Monday as the same Lori. Nothing will change." Her words sent an icy chill through me. "Lori, this is madness. How long has this been going on? Who is this man? Are you cheating on me?" "No," she replied quickly. "This isn't an affair. We've only had a few lunch meetings, that's all. It's just a fling, a one-time thing. He's married, too, and has kids. I don't want this to affect us. It's just for the weekend. The word understand hit me like a spark, igniting a fury inside me. How could she ask me to understand this? How could anyone justify such betrayal? So, you think spending the weekend with another man is going to somehow help our marriage? I asked, my voice barely above a whisper, filled with disbelief. Yes, she answered with unshakable certainty. I need to feel young, beautiful, and alive again. It's something I must do. I want you to give me this weekend as a gift. I need you to understand that I'll come back on Monday, and everything will be as it was. Nothing will change. At that moment, the woman standing before me seemed like a stranger. She was no longer the Lori I had known and loved for years. I was speechless, unable to come up with a rational response. After taking a deep breath, I finally spoke. If you're determined to go through with this, it's your choice. But know this, you have until your Uber arrives to change your mind. Before you leave, I want you to keep your phone on. It's just for your safety, not anything else. Lori paused, considering my words before nodding. Okay, she said, but promise me you won't follow me or try to ruin my plans. I gave her my word, though inside, a storm was raging. Lori's betrayal had set our lives on an irreversible path, and I had already decided on the first step of my own transformation. As Lori continued packing her suitcase, preparing to leave, I sat in silence, overwhelmed with conflicting emotions. A part of me desperately wanted to stop her, but I didn't want to degrade myself any further. So I let her go. When the Uber arrived, she grabbed her suitcase and walked out without looking back. Once she was gone, I grabbed my phone, my heart racing with a mixture of emotions. A new chapter in my life had just begun. She was someone I had once cared for, someone I had never pursued due to my loyalty to Lori. But now, the time had come to reach out. "Hi, Sarah, it's Bill," I said, my voice wavering yet resolute. On the other end of the line, Sarah's voice was warm and familiar, transporting me back to a time long past. "Bill, it's been years. I've wondered how you've been." I briefly explained everything. Lori's decision to spend the weekend with another man and how, after that, I couldn't continue in the marriage. Sarah paused for a moment, then gently asked, "What do you need from me, Bill?" Taking a deep breath, I replied, "Sarah, I made you a promise. I told you that if my marriage ever ended, I would call you. Well, here I am. I'd like to spend the evening with you. I just need someone to talk to." Without hesitation, Sarah agreed, and I drove to her house. She greeted me with a warm smile at the door. Her kindness and understanding soothed the turmoil inside me. That night, we talked for hours about Lori's betrayal, my emotions, and the connection Sarah and I had once shared but never explored. As we spoke, something I had buried deep within me surfaced. I didn't just want one night with Sarah. I wanted a future with her. The weekend I spent with Sarah filled a void I hadn't realized was there, emotionally and physically. Lori's departure had unexpectedly become my liberation. When Lori returned on Sunday, she walked in with a certain confidence, her eyes gleaming. "See? Nothing's changed. I came back as the same Lori," she said. But she didn't realize that everything had already changed. That weekend marked a turning point for me. Even though a part of me still wanted to believe I loved her, my heart rejected that thought. I listened to her speak, but it felt like I was observing her from a distance, taking mental notes. When she finished, I didn't hesitate. "Lori," I said, "this weekend made me realize something. Our marriage is over. I'm not saying I can't forgive you, but I can't continue this relationship. Tomorrow, I'll start the divorce process." A look of relief crossed her face before it quickly shifted to fear and shock. In that moment, she realized her actions had changed everything forever. She cried, pleaded, but my decision was final. The divorce process with Lori was swift and fair. I explained everything to our daughters, Kelly and Aaron, encouraging them to continue loving their mother despite her mistakes. Over time, everyone adjusted to the new reality. As for Sarah and me, we fell in love again. Within a few years, we married and started our own family, having 2 beautiful children. I also grew very close to Sarah's son, Jacob. Looking back now, I realize that weekend was a turning point, reshaping my life. Sometimes, the most painful betrayals lead to the most beautiful new beginnings. Lori lost me through her poor choices, but in doing so, I found myself and true love. Thank you for sticking with me until the end. I'll see you in the next episode of Revenge Stories. Take care of yourself, and remember to cherish your loved ones. Goodbye.